It usually starts with a split second of sheer panic. You're driving home at twilight, an oncoming car flashes its high beams, and suddenly your world goes completely white. You blink, waiting for your sight to clear, but it takes 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds too long. That terrifying delay, it isn't just getting older. It is a biological warning siren screaming that your eyes have lost their internal shield. There is a silent thief stealing the independence of millions of seniors, but it's not inevitable. In fact, new research reveals you might simply be starving your eyes of one specific microscopic nutrient. Most people write this off as the inevitable decline of age, a tax we pay for living a long life. But what if I told you that the foggy vision, the dry scratching sensation, and that blinding sensitivity to glare aren't just about the calendar years stacking up? What if the real culprit is a specific unseen nutritional gap, a deficiency in a microscopic pigment that acts as your eye's internal armor? Today, we are going to talk about a nutrient that often gets overlooked in standard checkups, yet it is the cornerstone of visual longevity. We are going to explore the research championed by experts like Dr. William Li to reveal exactly how you can rebuild your eye's natural defenses. By the end of our time together, you won't just understand why your vision is changing, you will have a concrete, delicious, and simple plan to turn the tide. Before we dive into the science that could save your sight, I'd love to invite you to join our growing community here. If you appreciate health advice that respects your intelligence, digs into the root causes, and empowers you rather than just listing symptoms, please consider subscribing. We are building a space where we share the kind of senior health tips that doctors often overlook in rushed 15-minute appointments. And speaking of community, I'm curious, where are you watching from today? Let me know in the comments. It is always wonderful to see how far our message of health independence travels. Now, let's get straight to the heart of the matter. To understand the solution, we first need to visualize the problem deep inside your biology. Situated at the very back of your eye on the retina is a tiny, highly sensitive area called the macula. You can think of the macula as the high definition camera sensor of your eye. It is the only part of the eye capable of 20/20 vision, responsible for your central sight, allowing you to see fine details, recognize the faces of your loved ones, and read the fine print on a menu. Over a lifetime, this delicate camera sensor is bombarded by high energy light waves, blue light from the sun, and increasingly from the digital screens we look at every day. Imagine leaving a beautiful, colorful oil painting out in the direct summer sun for 40 years. The colors would fade, the canvas would become brittle, and the image would eventually disappear. Biologically, this is known as oxidative stress. It is essentially biological rust, and it is the primary driver behind age-related macular degeneration, AMD. However, nature has provided a way to cover that painting with a protective UV filtering glass. This protection comes from macular pigment. When this pigment is dense and thick, it acts like internal sunglasses, blocking harmful light and neutralizing the free radicals that cause that rust. The problem is that our bodies cannot make this pigment on their own. We have to eat it. And the specific nutrient we are missing, the one that Dr. William Li identifies as a critical component of our body's defense system, is zeaxanthin. While its cousin, lutein, gets a lot of the marketing glory, zeaxanthin is the concentrated warrior found right in the bullseye center of the macula, exactly where you need the most protection. When you are low on zeaxanthin, your internal sunglasses are too thin, the glare gets through, and the damage begins. So how do we rebuild that density? How do we thicken that shield? The first step in our nutritional protocol involves embracing the power of dark leafy greens, but we need to look at them differently than just salad fodder. You have likely heard that spinach and kale are good for you, but the magnitude of their impact on vision is often understated in general health advice. These greens are the primary carriers of lutein and zeaxanthin in the plant kingdom. When you eat them, these carotenoids are extracted by your digestion, travel through your bloodstream, and are deposited directly into the eye, thickening that protective pigment layer. The science backing this is incredibly robust and should give you a lot of hope. For instance, a landmark study published in JAMA Ophthalmology, one of the most respected journals in the field, followed over 4,500 participants over a significant period. The researchers found that those with the highest dietary intake of lutein and zeaxanthin had a staggering 43% lower risk of developing age-related macular degeneration compared to those who ate the least. Think about that for a moment. A nearly 50% reduction in risk just by changing what is on your fork. Imagine your retinal cells are like a garden that is constantly being scorched by the sun. These greens act as a shade cloth. To get this benefit, you don't need to graze on raw kale all day like a rabbit. The key is consistency and preparation. Try adding a handful of spinach to your morning eggs or blending it into a smoothie. Interestingly, the heat from cooking actually helps break down the tough plant cell walls, making the nutrients easier for your body to absorb. So, a light saute of spinach with garlic is not just a tasty side dish. It is a medicinal application for your eyes. This brings us naturally to the next crucial element on our list, which addresses a major failure point in many healthy diets: absorption. You could eat a mountain of spinach, but if you don't pair it with the right delivery system, much of that zeaxanthin will pass right through you. This hidden nutrient is fat soluble. It refuses to dissolve in water. It needs fat to be transported into your system. This is where the humble egg comes into play. For years, we were told to fear eggs because of cholesterol. But when it comes to vision, the egg yolk is a powerhouse that we wrongly abandoned. The yolk contains zeaxanthin suspended in a matrix of healthy fats and lecithin, which makes it incredibly bioavailable. It is prepackaged for absorption. In fact, a study conducted by the Department of Nutritional Sciences at the University of Connecticut and published in the Journal of Nutrition found that eating eggs significantly increased plasma, lutein, and zeaxanthin concentrations, more so than supplements in some cases, without negatively affecting cholesterol levels in the participants. Think of the egg yolk as a VIP taxi service. The spinach is the passenger, the nutrient waiting on the curb. Without the taxi, the fat in the yolk, the passenger never gets to the destination, your retina. They are left stranded. So here is your actionable takeaway. Stop throwing away the yolks. Don't just eat egg whites thinking you are being heart healthy while sacrificing your eye health. The magic is in the gold. Have a hard-boiled egg as a snack or poach one over your greens. You are essentially creating a food synergy that supercharges your eye health, ensuring every microgram of protection gets to where it needs to go. Moving along in our protocol, we need to talk about a specific snack that Dr. William Li frequently highlights for its angiogenetic properties. Angiogenesis is the body's process of growing new blood vessels in the eye. This is a double-edged sword. We need healthy blood vessels to supply oxygen, but in advanced macular degeneration, the body panics and grows abnormal, leaky blood vessels that obscure vision. This is known as wet AMD. We want to regulate this process. The surprising hero here is the pistachio. While most nuts are beige or white inside, have you ever noticed that pistachios are green and purple? That color isn't just for show. It is the visual signature of lutein and zeaxanthin. Pistachios are unique among nuts because they contain significant amounts of these specific carotenoids. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition verified that incorporating pistachios into the diet can increase the serum levels of these eye-protecting antioxidants more effectively than other nuts. But beyond the numbers, think of the pistachio as a dual-action tool. It provides the pigment to shield the eye, and it naturally provides the healthy fats to ensure absorption, all in one shell. It is the perfect self-contained eye supplement designed by nature. Next time you are watching television or looking for a mid-afternoon bridge from lunch to dinner, swap out the pretzels or crackers, which spike your blood sugar and offer no protection, for a handful of pistachios. You are quite literally snacking your way to sharper vision and helping to keep those blood vessels stable and healthy. Now, let's address a common complaint I hear from many of you. I eat healthy, but my eyes are still dry, gritty, and uncomfortable. This sensation of having sand in your eyes is miserable. It blurs your vision and makes you want to close your eyes just to get relief. This leads us to our next essential nutrient, which works in tandem with zeaxanthin, omega-3 fatty acids. While zeaxanthin protects the retina at the back of the eye, omega-3 seconds serve as the guardians of the cornea at the front. They effectively grease the gears. Your tears are complex. They are not just water. A healthy tear film has an oil layer on top that prevents the water from evaporating into the air. If you are deficient in omega-3 seconds, your body cannot produce high quality oil. That oil layer becomes too thin or breaks, and your tears dry up instantly, leaving your eye exposed to the air. The evidence for this is compelling. A study published in the International Journal of Ophthalmology demonstrated that omega-3 fatty acid supplementation significantly improved tear breakup time, which is a measure of how stable your tears are, and reduced dry eye. Symptoms in patients after just 3 months. Imagine trying to use windshield wipers on a dry piece of glass. It screeches, drags, and leaves streaks. That is your eyelid blinking over a dry cornea. Omega-3 seconds lubricate that glass. To get this benefit, you want to look toward the cold waters of the sea. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines are the best sources. If you are not a fan of fish, or if you follow a plant-based diet, algae-based supplements are a fantastic alternative, as they go straight to the source where the fish get their omega-3 seconds. Aim for 2 to 3 servings a week to keep that tear film thick and stable, ensuring that the light entering your eye is clear before it even hits the retina. If you are finding these tips useful, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us get this vision-saving information to other seniors who might be struggling with the same fears about their eyesight. Let's continue, because we have to talk about the orange gap in our diet. We often think green for health, but for zeaxanthin specifically, we need to think orange. There is a specific vegetable that is often used just as a garnish or a salad crunch, but deserves a starring role: the orange bell pepper. While all peppers are healthy, orange bell peppers are the richest vegetable source of zeaxanthin, containing significantly more than their green or red counterparts. Why does this matter? Because zeaxanthin is the pigment that specifically handles the glare issue we talked about in the beginning, that moment of blindness when headlights hit you. A study published in the British Journal of Ophthalmology found that subjects with higher macular pigment optical density, which is exactly what we are building with these peppers, had significantly faster photostress recovery times. Photostress recovery is the medical term for how long it takes your eyes to reset after being blinded by a bright light. The study showed that people with high pigment levels recovered vision much faster than those with low levels. Think of it as upgrading your eyes from a slow dial-up internet connection to high-speed fiber optics. When the bright light hits, the download of normal vision happens instantly for the protected eye, while the unprotected eye buffers and lags. The actionable advice here is simple. Stop buying only the green peppers because they are on sale. The orange ones are the medicine your eyes are craving. Slice them up raw and dip them in hummus, or roast them to bring out their sweetness. Every bite is thickening that internal pair of sunglasses. We have covered greens, healthy fats, nuts, and peppers. But there is one more category that is absolutely vital, and it connects your eyes to the rest of your cardiovascular system. Your eyes are incredibly vascular organs. They require a massive amount of oxygen to function. If your blood flow is sluggish, your eyes starve. This brings us to the power of nitrates, found in abundance in beets. When you eat beets, your body converts these natural nitrates into nitric oxide, a signaling molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. This improves microcirculation, getting blood into the tiny, thread-like capillaries at the back of the eye that feed the retina. Research supports this connection between blood flow and ocular health. For example, studies cited in the American Journal of Physiology have shown that dietary nitrates can improve vascular function and reduce blood pressure. This is critical because high blood pressure is a leading risk factor for glaucoma and retinal damage. Imagine a garden hose that is kinked. The water just trickles out, and the plants at the end of the row wilt. Nitric oxide unkinks the hose, allowing a strong, steady stream of nutrients and oxygen to reach the retina. If the earthy taste of beets isn't your favorite, try roasting them with a little balsamic vinegar, which transforms their flavor into something sweet and tangy. Or simply blend a small amount of raw beet into a berry smoothie. You won't even taste it, but your eyes will feel the difference in circulation. Speaking of berries, we cannot ignore a small, wrinkled red fruit that has been used in traditional medicine for centuries and is now backed by modern science, the goji berry. Dr. William Lee often references goji berries, also known as wolfberries, because they contain a unique form of zeaxanthin called dipalmitate, which is highly absorbable by the human body. In a randomized trial published in the journal Optometry and Vision Science, elderly participants who consumed a milk-based formulation of goji berries for 90 days showed significantly elevated plasma zeaxanthin levels and antioxidant capacity compared to the placebo group. This is a powerful finding because it shows that even in our later years, our bodies are responsive. We can still uptake these nutrients and improve our status. It is never too late to start repairing the shield. You can think of goji berries as concentrated vitamin pills that grow on bushes. They are easy to incorporate. Sprinkle a handful over your oatmeal, toss them into a salad for a chewy texture, or simply keep a bag by your reading chair. They are a low glycemic, high reward snack that directly targets the health of your retina. Now, as we weave these nutritional threads together, we must address the environment in which your eyes exist. You can eat all the right foods, but if you are constantly battering your eyes with digital strain, you are fighting an uphill battle. The blue light emitted by our phones, tablets, and televisions penetrates deep into the eye, bypassing the cornea and lens and hitting the retina directly. Research from the University of Toledo has suggested that blue light can transform retinal molecules into cell killers, accelerating macular degeneration. While the nutrients we've discussed, zeaxanthin and lutein, act as a filter to block this blue light, you can help them out by practicing the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. This simple habit breaks the spasm of the focusing muscle in your eye. It's like putting down a heavy suitcase you've been carrying for 20 minutes. The relief is immediate. Combine this habit with your zeaxanthin rich diet, and you are attacking the problem from both the inside and the outside. You are building a fortress around your vision. Let's take a moment to recap what we have built here, because it is more than just a grocery list. It is a protocol for independence. To banish the glare, fight the dryness, and sharpen your focus, we are focusing on the unseen nutrient zeaxanthin, supported by a cast of powerful allies. First, we are eating our dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, cooked to unlock their nutrients. Second, we are pairing them with eggs to utilize the healthy fats for absorption. Third, we are snacking on pistachios, the only nut that brings pigment to the party. Fourth, we are soothing dry eyes with omega-3 seconds from fatty fish. Fifth, we are targeting glare with a concentrated zeaxanthin and orange bell peppers. Sixth, we are boosting blood flow with beets. And finally, we are using goji berries as a potent antioxidant-rich supplement. This might seem like a lot of changes, but remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Pick one. Maybe this week, you just swap your afternoon cookie for pistachios. Maybe next week, you try the orange peppers. Small hinges, swing big doors. Every time you choose one of these foods, you are sending a message to your body that you are worth preserving. You are telling your eyes that you are not done seeing the beauty of this world, the faces of your grandchildren, the colors of the sunset, the words in your favorite book. It is easy to feel helpless when our bodies change, to feel like we are at the mercy of time. But the science, validated by researchers like Dr. Lee and institutions around the world, tells a different story. It tells us that we have agency, we have control, your eyes are resilient, and they are waiting for you to give them the tools they need to repair and protect themselves. You are not just fighting to see better, you are fighting to live better, to maintain the freedom to go where you want and do what you love. I want to leave you with one final thought. The most beautiful things in life are meant to be seen clearly. Don't let a solvable nutritional gap steal that from you. Take these steps, trust the process, and watch your world come back into focus. Now, I have a question for you to answer down below. Which of these vision superfoods surprised you the most? Was it the pistachios, the orange peppers? Let's get a conversation going in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, not just for me, but because your health is worth fighting for, and we are here to fight alongside you. Here is to seeing the future clearly. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.